So this afternoon on stream, we had a go at the event with Shenron. So as I said, I did stream this over on Twitch and YouTube, which is where I've been streaming a little bit more. And today in the event, we went 6-1. So I'm going to show you the list. I used it for the same list every game, and then we're going to break down the 7 games today. But if you are enjoying this content, please be sure to like and subscribe. So here is the list that we run, and as soon as I just started to record this, I did just see a post about the winning deck list over in Japan. It was run by a Shenron. It is... I wouldn't say it's like crazy different to this, but it is different to this list. So I might go back and try that list. But this is what I had. And I actually, for this event, I took out the Miljetas. I played this at locals the other night and I lost in the final to Piccolo. And I've been having a lot of discussion about the deck because I really do like this deck. If people don't actually understand how much I like Shenron decks. Like, my first ever Masters deck was a Shenron deck. I played it at an event not too long ago because it got support. Shadow Dragons are something that I'm very big on, so I had to have a go at this. And I'm kind of one of those people that don't like the decks of characters that I like and I want to play that deck. I don't like those decks being good because then everyone plays them and I hate mirror matches in this game. But anyway, so going through the list, the list, you guys will see a few videos ago, I actually did a gameplay. The list has changed a lot. The most notable thing is obviously the fact that I dropped the Miljeta to try something different, and I've actually gone into Zeno because Zeno being pretty much the main answer for your 6-drop and higher removal, and it also deals with those wide boards. I did originally think Vegito. I did try some testing with Merry-Go-Round to neg cost without going neg in hand, but when I moved over that 6 non-Shadow Dragons, I had an absolute horrendous time. If you guys tuned into the stream a few days ago when I played it for the first time with more than 6 non-Shadow Dragons, I started being very inconsistent. I'm not back down at 6, I'm at 7, but I did not have any problems. There was I think maybe one game where I did something maybe a little bit inefficiently, but I didn't have any problems awakening this time. So I definitely think that from my experience, 8 and above is probably not a good number. So, but you know, it seemed to work for me. So as we go through the list, we play 4-pan. I was a bit on the fence about this because sometimes you have cards that you just don't want to discard and you're sort of forced to discard them because you might draw into even better cards. So I wasn't massive on pan, but I've noticed a few instances where just pan is just been a bit more of a utility because sometimes Miljeta lives for a while, and if you want to keep swinging with him, you just keep milling your deck. And while it is good, sometimes you want the dig over the mill, and pan just lets you dig, whereas Miljeta doesn't. I also think that you don't really care about taking your own life. If you don't play Miljeta, you can just mill yourself, and then eventually they will they'll swing into you. So you don't really need to worry about the self-awaken, but this deck just functions so well with the fact that it can awaken at 6 life. There's so many times where I think there was actually a game where I won at 5 life. I can't quite remember. Of course, Black Smoke Dragon. Black Smoke is kind of like a hit and a miss card. It can be really annoying to play around, but just for 1 cost, I think there's a game where I actually bottom deck some cards because I have multiple Black Smokes on the field. So it can be very valuable at the same time. I was actually on the Rage chain the other day, and just sort of after I said some more discussion, I wanted to try out the Neutron chain, and the Neutron chain wasn't bad. I'm not completely sold on it because I like the Rage to be able to push the pressure against Piccolo, which is your worst matchup, I would assume. Just when they get to Beast Time becomes such a problem. Beast Time and the Piccolo, the redirect attacks, it can be really annoying. So that's why I was playing the Rage, and if you can spam out a couple of Rages on turn 3, turn 4, you could sort of get yourself in a really strong position, but Neutron seemed to work very well. There was actually not a lot of times when I played it because generally you do actually use these Ice and Novas. I've sort of pivoted a bit more towards them. So moving on from that, I would probably just leave the Neutron as it was. I would honestly, at the moment, probably cut this Rage. Like I said, I'm not too worried about Self-Awaken at the moment. So probably Rage would just about be the card that gets cut, and I would probably just go up to 4 Neutrons for more consistency, more 10Ks. Like I said, the Ice and Nova, I think 3 of each is fine. You do actually see it in really good situations, and the bouncing a 4 cost to hand can feel a bit bad, but it also can be really strong, because if you have a turn where you're like, where your opponent goes wide, you can play an Ice, normally bounce one of their bodies. Like Frieza's a good one to sort of make an example, because they'll go 5-4-4, and you can just like return one of the 4s with this, pop a burst attack, swing into one of them, and swing another one into your lead, and you've just cleared their board. So the 4 cost bouncing to hand is actually very, very relevant. Another card that is like, it's very hit and miss, and the winning list that I seen from Japan wasn't actually running Nova at all. And I don't know if there was actually, I think there was one game where I played it, and I think it's kind of like a, I guess you could say like a little bit of an oh shit button, but I think I still want to leave Nova in. I actually had in one of my games, my opponent swung into it, KO'd it, and I like bottom decked on return. So obviously that effect can be good. And then like your bread and butter of the deck, the 5 into 5, like this is like, it's crazy, because if your opponent ever goes to 3, they're staring down, obviously, your leader swings, any other bodies that are still, and then it's like a 30 and a 35. If they don't respond to those and they go to 2, they're then staring at a minimum of a 55. But even if you just poke them, just keep poking them, you don't have to pop this, and you just like chip away at their hand, or if you have to, if your opponent goes wide and you just want to get this established, you can remove, again, 3 bodies that turn, leader swing, the 2 Sin swings, and a burst attack. You remove 3 bodies. And then, like I said, Zeno, people are starting to fall into Zeno, and I myself am as well. I was on the Vegito train for a while, because obviously, like, you can mill yourself out and just make Vegito 50k swings. But Vegito obviously doesn't deal if your opponent goes wide. And if your opponent goes wide and they have like tall costs, so like we're talking Piccolo, we don't want to be bouncing Beast Hans back to their hand. 4 super combo, like no explanation needed. I actually had a game today where I could have taken this off a search, and I actually chose not to. I think I actually chose an extra card. 4 whirlwind spins, and this card, I honestly feel like this card is the MVP of the deck. Like, it helps you deal with your bricks, and even if it removes 2 bodies with its swings, it is really good, because generally that's like 15k combo. But there was an instance, I think one game, where we removed 3 bodies from that. It was actually a Piccolo game that we played against, so this card is probably close to one of the MVPs of the deck. Unblockable, just draw cards. Honestly, this is like the one thing that I was like doing, and the reason to me trying no mill Jita is because you only really want to press your Awaken and just ensure you're trying to really get that turn 3 Awaken guaranteed if you've got a Dragon Thunder, because that's really the only card that you're using on your Awaken turn is Dragon Thunder. I would definitely like to try and fit in a 4th copy of it, but I think for me at the moment, Burst Attack is too valuable to take down to 2, because I've just had instances where I've just like kind of died because I just haven't seen Burst Attack. And then at 2 of the Powerball, I did have 3, because my philosophy on playing this deck, because you mill so much, you have to minus 1 off every card. So if you're expecting, so say in a normal deck you would only run 2 or 3 of one card, for a deck like this, I would always say your principle is, if you intend on running 2 in a regular deck, you run 3 in this deck, just purely because of how much you mill. But yeah, guys, so that's the deck. Let me know if you guys got any recommendations or questions you want to ask me about the deck, but let's get into some games. And then as we're loading up today, I will say you guys will find out which game it is. You'll see what happens. I literally threw away a 7-0 run. I'm comboed off a card, and it was actually really critical that I needed the card because I couldn't play my Omega Shenron, so I would have actually decked myself out. I actually comboed off one of the Sins when I should have just taken the hit. So we're playing against Frieza, and Frieza is actually a really annoying game, purely because, maybe I'll slow this down while I'm actually talking about this matchup. In the next Frieza games, we'll go a bit faster. So the Frieza game can be really annoying because on their Awaken turn, they can go from 4 to 3. They can slam down the 6-cost Secret Rare. If they slam down the 6-cost Secret Rare, it is really hard to deal with. You have to either see if they go to 2 and they don't have a blocker in play. If they don't have a blocker in play, then of course you can just 5-drop Omega into Double Strike. If that's not the case, you do kind of have to play around sticking the 5-cost Sin, hoping it doesn't die, and then activating the unblockable. So here we see, and I think I just decided to take, I can't remember why I didn't take a life, why I took a life there, but I blocked the swing before. I guess it was like he was always going to swing into me, so I just wanted to, I guess, make sure I was at, I'm like answering my own questions as I say it. So here, this card is actually really handy for this deck, just purely because like it demands something to swing into it. So what do we got going on here? What are we doing for this turn? I think it was that was actually a really good top deck there. So we want to swing. I think I was looking to get myself awakened here. So Pan, of course. 1 and 2. So I only need 1 Zeno. Got rid of 2 cards. Play out the Neutron. 2. Oh no, discard the 1. So we make it a 15k swing. So he does go to 4. And that's the other thing about these Shadow Dragons that do this. These things are so good because if you're teaming them with a burst attack, they can just remove a body and then go and play something out. And you draw. So I think the whole play was the first swing I was going to... it was like... the first... I can't quite remember. But the first swing here, I just bottom deck everything. I don't know why he didn't pop this to just get himself another card, but... from there. I opted to hang on to the burst attack here. This was for... I didn't get rid of this because I have, as you can see, no 4-drop play. And then if he goes... for instance, if he goes... I was actually expecting the Cooler or the King Cold to play out 2 bodies. So the fact that he let this go unchecked was pretty crazy, I thought. So we've seen that we don't need that next Zeno. But we can awaken now, of course. Love this animation. Love the old Black Star. Don't like that he just like rest his knee like this. So we drew the ice. Trying to think what I... obviously now, like in hindsight, it wasn't the best play to, of course, not keep the Dragon Tackle. But I think this is part of the reason why maybe I went into like return it to its hand because I have Pan here. And the other thing this does is like, sure, you only poke them for 20, but they actually, because you stay at high life so often, you're happy for your opponent to swing into them and just offer up pseudo, like they basically pseudo blockers. Like, you don't... like, your hand... like, we got 8 cards in hand, I'm at 5 life. I'm not really worried at this point. If he just takes a swing to swing into my board, that's fine. They're just 20k, so they're going to invite the attacks. There is said Cooler that I was worried about. And this card for Frieza, I haven't done... I do apologize that I haven't done gameplays for a few days. I was going to do Sinpov the other night, and I felt like crap. Didn't have a great day, and I was just like, wasn't in the mood for recording. I just come home from work that day, and I just actually grinded some games with Sin, because I knew I was going to go and play it at locals. So here we see the big plays. I was actually very bamboozled when I seen that, but so we see another tackle. I actually think I do the effect here to see if I can draw into a 5-drop. Do I? Or do I... Oh, no, sorry. No. I go into the 5. Because if I... yeah, I was looking for... Imagine, I hit 6 no combos here. But I just had to remove the body. And then, of course, poke. Because that's the one thing that you do see with Frieza. They play... Like, he just played out 3 bodies and he hasn't got a very big hand. And, of course, the added, like, down of playing something from their life, they're down a life. They don't get that life to their hand. And then from there, he played 2 more bodies out, so his hand is pretty depleted. And the one thing is, his bodies that he's spitting out, they're only 25Ks generally. So from here, I was like, oh shit, I got a Zeno, but of course, he played the Frieza, which didn't make it a thing. And again, just the added, like, when you look at what I've got in my hand, I theoretically probably would have had to have taken that 25k as well. But, like, he just got very... Like, I was saying in my chat at the time, I really needed Zeno there. Not having Zeno was kind of frustrating. But, again, this is just like I was saying in the... Like, when we were talking about the deck itself, being able to go into 2 5-drops that turn is really kind of strong. Because I could just remove the board here. So we mill 2. Remove it. I thought it didn't give you a blocker step, to be honest. It must give you a blocker step. I haven't actually played the deck to be able to see. And what did we get from here? So we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is it. 4, 5, 6. We hit 6 extra cards on that mill of 7. And from there, it was just like that's pretty much G. I don't see him pushing through. He can't Golden Frieza me. He can't Golden Frieza me to kill my 5-drops. If he had 2 stuns there, it is a little bit awkward finishing the game. Sticking cold into... Oh, I think, yeah. This to me was the ultimate flex, because he must have played he must have realized that I couldn't remove he couldn't remove my 5-drops. But this for me is the ultimate flex. Everyone bitches and moans. Oh man, this fucking Frieza with barrier is so annoying. Blah 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 blah. Well, let's show you how good this burst attack card is. Switch him to active mode. Obviously, we've got the unblockable. And we charge to... Wait, what? What the... Oh, okay. When I don't know why I didn't... Well, obviously, I was lucky enough that I drew into one. Nope. Maybe there was another game where I do it. Okay, so there's a game where I remove the barrier card. Ooh, that is a sick animation. And from here, like, it's just like poke, 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 poke. And like, yeah. We know what, like, we do it this way. Boom, bang. And yeah, he scoops. Alright, next game, and this one is against Piccolo. So I actually think I got very lucky in this game. I'm not gonna lie. He appeared to brick very bad, or he just wasn't that skilled with Piccolo. So we start off with a pan. We see a Zeno. We want to be keeping it. We want to keep the ice here to start removing the cantrips and stuff. Because that's where, like, obviously you'll get way outvalued by this deck just playing lots of 1-drops. There we see the pan. Adding the promo, which, for those that don't know, the promo KOs 2 4 costs. When I seen the smoke, I was like, okay, I didn't want the draw 1, discard 1. So we smoked. I was kind of hoping to draw into another smoke or a pan. So we draw into the ice. And of course, hitting the pan there wasn't great. So here's now where you start like questioning like what point do you use the whirlwind spin when you see 3 cantrips like this. I think it's just self-explanatory. You just pop it. What did I discard in the end? Oh, I discarded the ice. Yeah, because I was going to remove all the bodies. That's right. And then if I didn't like what I had, like I had off my drawers, I just Dragon Tackle. Because what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was actually a mistake. So this was actually... I wasn't punished for this, but this was a mistake. I don't know really what else I charged there outside of Whirlwind Spin, but I should have played this and just milled 2. Because I could have awakened, got the 20k body, and then used this. Oh, no, don't worry. Don't mind me. I'm only at 7. Don't worry. Ignore what I just said. So here you could see he was setting up because he had nothing in drop for Gohan because he didn't Gamma. Because it obviously needs to be 3 or more. So he's playing inefficiently as it is. And then when he when he showed me that, I was just like, well, we're even further ahead now. So we have 2 5-drops, we don't need another one. There's the Smoky. I think here we find another ice. Nope, we don't find an ice. Why do I feel like I find an ice here? Glump, 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 glump. I kind of wish for like replays like this, you could choose to turn the leader animations off. And there probably is a setting, who knows. Oh, you combated off, okay. Maybe it was another sequence I was thinking of. Obviously, I wasn't exactly in the best spot here. It was probably just lucky that my opponent was even in an even worse spot than I was. And I really don't know why he burnt his energy marker there. Because the following turn he would be at, of course, 8 energy, which is Beast Han, which is what you want to do. Maybe he was worried about not having... Surely he would have had the cards, but I don't know. Like I said, I definitely feel like we got a little bit lucky here. But against your worst matchup, you do sometimes have to get a little bit lucky. And I guess the thing that is really, like, just sets this deck, this 5-cost chain, is that you bounce the Sin to your hand. So you only ever need 1 Sin, and you can just keep replaying the Sin. It's just the Omegas that you need to have multiple of. Send 7 back. From here, we're definitely looking for a Dragon Tackle. Dragon Thunder. And I actually whiffed it. So I whiffed a top 7 for just 8 extra card. So from there, it's like, well, I got to use this, so we'll use that. Get some of them cards back in the deck, and we just poke. Like, yeah, I just go back to, if he doesn't burn his energy marker there, he can go Beast Han. Like, does he have Beast Han at this point? He has Beast Han. Like, the game is very, very different if I'll just leave it exposed now. The game's very, very different if he's able to Beast Han on this turn. And I knew that he'd taken the blocker. I just don't know why he didn't go into the 5-cost SR. Like, I think I got very lucky in this game, and watching this back, I just don't think my opponent was 100% sure, and then as soon as, like, my eyes just light up when I see 3 cantrips just chilling there. Now, this is the problem that I'm walking into. I'm getting to 5 energy, and I've had this happen a couple of times now, where I see 5 energy, and it's literally just like, ask me this: if you're me, what card are you charging here? You don't want to charge supers. Whirlwinds are so important because I'm about to use one. I need Zeno for this matchup to remove the Beast Harm. I need the 5 chains, and I'll need Double Strike at some point. And if I don't use Double Strike this turn, I want to draw cards. So what am I really gaining out of going to 6 energy here? This is my point. And it kind of bit me in the ass, and it almost bit me in the ass when it happened to me at locals the other night. But I felt like I had to do that there because he just gets out of, generally, like, he gets out of 2 swings there if I don't, oh no, now that I look at it, yeah, again, I'm learning from my own mistakes. I didn't want to charge the, tackle. The thunder. I keep calling it tackle because there's a card in Masters that's Dragon Tackle, and I got traumatized by it when I played against Sin the other week. So he adds it back. Pretty good card, bouncing to hand. I guess from there maybe he wanted to ramp in case he wanted Broly to gain a life. So 4 mills, 4 off the mill is really good. Trying to decide. I definitely think with my hand, I go for the double strike. Wait, what? Oh, no, don't worry. I've already popped it for... Man. This is probably my worst commentating I've ever done. But it definitely felt good for him, seeing him play Beast Han, and all he could kill was the Black Smoke Dragon. So goes back 2-6, and obviously plays the Piccolo. Wanna combo it? Oh yeah, so he comboed, so we give him the super. So I was fine if he just swung Beast Han at my Sin because I had supers. So here is like where it is coming back to bite me when I didn't charge, because for 7 energy, I think it's 7 energy. There was 7 or 8 energy at one point. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I do this. And I made the mistake. I should have popped the Dragon Tackle first. I just said about what I called it, the Dragon Thunder. I'll just call him Thunder Cheeks. But the fact that he burnt the 2 skills very early, it was like, it was pretty self-explanatory that he wasn't in a great spot. Didn't play around that. Oh no, that's what I could have done 2 of these in one go or something like that. That was my line of thinking why I should have charged. So just do the 2. Pretty sure I just draw some more cards. Oh no. Set up the blocker. So we set up the blocker and we got 2 floating energy. Pretty good spot. Again, looking back, I'm not 100%... Oh, because it kills his stuff, that's why. I was going to say, mate. I don't know, maybe there's a case after he swings here that he goes into Broly. But I guess here he just wants to dig. Oh, I suppose you're digging into trying to find a Beast Han here. Didn't find a Beast Han, unfortunately. Another Piccolo. We want a 5-drop. But of course, we've got unblockable. Ah, yes. So this is why, because if I would have been able to go into at least another 5-drop. No. Yeah, I would have been able to go into another 5-drop chain if I had it. But with unblockable, we've removed the combo. Obviously, no popping effect. We'll just chip away at the hand here. I do know that, like, I'm not dying at any point on the crackback here. I've got too much in hand. I don't even think I combo all the way here because I was just a little bit worried about crackback. Because I mapped it out. If he had a couple of supers and he had Earth Destroying Blow, like he could like Earth Destroying Blow into a card and it kind of be a bit awkward. So if he had like 2 supers, Earth Destroying Blow, that was another 30k. So like if that's Earth Destroying Blow, he gets a card. And he showed me no supers, so I just wanted to be on the safe side. Alright, so another Frieza game. We will speed this one up, because obviously I already played against Frieza. I sort of spoke a little bit about the matchup. We'll try and, you know, cut this down a little bit. So this one was a little bit more conventional. It was a bit more sort of like, gave me set 1 Frieza vibe, starter deck Frieza vibes. Seeing the Zarbon, of course. And then, yeah, of course, we saw the charge of the starter deck Frieza. And then he drew the set 1 SR. So I think, what do I do here? Do I pan here? No, I don't. Yeah, so that was the instance where I refused to take the super combo. I opted to take the SR. So we go to 6. Here goes another Cooler. See him take the Frieza. Or 2. Was that another super combo? Is that 2 super combos going? Yeah, 2 super combos going. I don't know if maybe that was the best play. Because you kind of want to, I think you want to, if you get forced to go second, you kind of want to hold the coin to remove the golden Frieza so you can start swinging freely. But we did manded cards here. Swing. Again, we're happy to let our board die. Obviously, 2 of these is a little bit annoying. We've burned up our Whirlwind Spin. And playing nothing out from life, so we're not having to worry about the pressure. Just let that die. Swing here, let that die. Turn to hand. Play the smoke. Add a whirlwind. Poke here. So now the dragons are asking to be targets. So like they're gonna draw attention. I honestly don't know if he did it in the end. Yeah, here's where I got really excited about showing people that you can remove things without barrier. So the dragons didn't draw attention. It's like, I'm going to take these. So we'll combo out. And then we'll slow this down because this is the most satisfying part of the deck, in my opinion. So like this made me feel really good this turn. We like asked so much from his hand because it is depleted. Like I said in the earlier game, he plays the 5, the 4, the 4. That's down 3 cards. None of them replace themselves. We go into the Omega. Hit 2. Not bad mills there. No, well, there's no supers left to hit. Burst attack. We go here. Boom, ignores barrier because it does not choose the card. Swing, pop there. Swing, pop there. And then the 35k. Now he's going to swing into them because they just remove so much. I was a little bit surprised to see the energy absorption. But again, he's having to poke me with these kinds of things, so he's losing out on combo. I'm not too sure why he played that. I wasn't going to be able to poke him there, so I'll just remove the board. We'll draw, and 2. There's our double strike. So we've got our restand. If he plays no blocker, it is 100% game over. He did, but then he swung with it, which I think was definitely not the right play. And of course he has no 6 drop, so I'm free to just sort of poke away here and then swing for the double strike. I was actually a little bit worried that maybe, like, because he was playing like the cooler and stuff, I was worried about, yeah, so he had a 25k. I was worried about time rewind. So I was playing around time rewind here because I know it wasn't going to make any difference to the game, but if I just swing here, he can take it and time rewind to untap this, then I can't kill him. Like I said, it doesn't make a big difference at the end of the game. But that's something that's something that made me think about playing around it. So I just like did this and dumped. So there was like physically no way that he could get out. And we get to bigger height numbers, and we win another game. Alright, so the next one is against Glorio. We will slow this one down because it's the first time we played against Glorio. For context, we played against 3 Glorio, 3 Frieza, 1 Piccolo. If I didn't say that already. Pretty good hand to start with, and like Glorio is it's hit and miss. If it sees everything, you could get smoked. If they slam down that 6 cost and they just start swinging you like crazy with the 6 cost, there's not much this deck can do about it until you get to Zeno. And by then, if they've got multiple 6 drops established, it's probably not going to be in a good spot. Outside of the fact, if you see a lot of smoke dragons to absorb a lot of those swings, that isn't too bad. So obviously we want to keep the ice here to remove the 2-drop self-awakeners. You want to try and remove as much of their board so they can't keep swinging at you. Again, these aggro matchups, you can benefit so much for the fact that you awaken at 6 life, because you can just combo out of swings early, you can block, you're going to be awakened, you're not sort of going to be like struggling to get out of swings because you're a 20k at 6 life, not the conventional 15. So starting off with like double black smoke and pan, that's such a strong start. I knew he wasn't going to like swing me with the others, so I'm fine to go to, I was fine to go to this, to 6, because I was going to awaken. We just block. I Do I poke? I think I just swing at the pansies just to get the draw and deny the... Nope. Oh, I know what I... So, okay. So I wanted him to go to 4 so that way he couldn't play the 2-cost Goku. No, I wanted to put him at 5. I can't remember what I was trying to do. I think there was a sequence that I was stuck at. I didn't want him to... awaken before he could... So I didn't want him to be awakened so when he played the 2-cost down, it didn't get the 10k buff. So then it was 50-50. Here is the Shin. Take the life, so when we see that, we know that that other 2 drop's coming down. And then when he plays this, you know where his head's at. You know he's playing promo. I also think this, he might have made a mistake. No. And I questioned this on stream. I don't know, someone in the comments, answer me this. Would you burn your coin to go into the 6 drop here? Would you burn your coin to go in the 6 drop here? Because I think it's a no-brainer. Like, this deck cannot deal with 6 costs. It is a given. He seemed to prioritize just wanting to move my blocker and a cantrip. So, I think I got very lucky in some of these matches today. And then the fact that he swung his leader and I got to combo out, it completely made this null and void. But at the end of the day, like, these guys might not have been the best players, but we did make them pay for their mistakes. So we punished them for their mistakes. Here we just remove the bodies. Because I think with Glorio, you just kind of like just keep swinging at their board. Because their hand just gets depleted very, very fast. You're not... In saying that, I think I'd probably swing at him. You're not too worried about... You don't want them taking their life aggressively because they play very aggressively. If that makes sense. Burn the Zeno there. Yeah, so I didn't want him to have... Like, he was just going to combo out with the pansy. So we've got the Haze to combo out. Again, and he's charged a 6 drop now. I'm baffled why he didn't resolve this that much. Play out the Aransu. Play out double Aransu here, and of course I start licking my lips. Now it's obviously it feels bad for me, like, because I didn't swing at him. Like, this guy dies, it got no real value. He of course draws 2. But we got the old cheeky whirlwind waiting in the wings to remove all those pesky 1-drops. Like I said, this card is probably close to the MVP of the deck. And I comboed off Zeno because I wasn't super worried about... I wasn't super worried at that point about the 6 drop because he had 2 chances to play it and he just didn't. So here, I just, like... For me, it was like burn the resources. So we had to combo out there. Now we poke the Goku. Just lets it die. Let's return 7 dragons, bouncing back to hand. Play an Omega. Added 2 cards there. Dragon Thunder. Oh, yeah, I got it right this time. Draw 2. Do I swing here? Yeah, I didn't swing here. I don't know. I think I got a little bit of One Piece brain about this matchup. Maybe it maybe I didn't need to do that. I don't know. Would you go like swinging there probably was the play if I'm not mistaken. But again, like I see his hand depleting very fast. So now we finally see the evolve. But at this point, like, it's a bit late. So we didn't want to go to 1, of course. He swings. We're going to take this one. And again, if you look at everything, like, he honestly could have had 3 of those out. He saw them all, so there's no reason that he wouldn't have been able to do it. So he like happily took there. With his restand, I think I just dumped from there. Draw. No point going through the chain. And he just scoops. Alright, so the third and final Frieza game. And the one little bit of advice I want to give about this deck is don't be greedy. I've tried to be greedy a couple times and it has really bit me in the ass. I think if you've, in your mulligan, if you've got a smoke, a pan, or a 2-drop play, I think you just have to keep that. And this game, again, a little bit different. We obviously see the Jace. Here I like really contemplated burning the marker, but again, I have to hold the marker because I am worried about 6-cost Frieza. There's, of course, 1 Zeno down the drain. So what are we at? Of course, taking this, we will definitely be blocking the crit. And then when I seen the Janemba, I was very baffled, especially when there was no Self-Awaken. Of course, we bottom deck the Jace. Swing. Yeah, that was where I'd made a mistake. I was meant to have done something somewhere. So I had to inefficiently combo a card from my hand to make sure I got awakened. So here we are, we're setting up. Did he have it? Yeah, so he did have it. Yep, so he did play the Golden Frieza from his energy this time, so that obviously was the first time it got a little bit awkward for me. So we just went into the 5-cost, because I had the restand here. So we just demand a couple of cards there, and looking at his hand, he had a lot of bricks at this stage. Because I hadn't seen, I think I had, yeah, I was down 2 Zenos at that point, so I think I was just like, fuck it. Just combo out there, and we can still, we're just staying at 6 life. It is crazy. So here we go for the board clear. Boom. Bounce 1 to hand. Turn the Jace. Bottom. And then we pass. So we clawed that back very well. And obviously here, I guess, like, burning the coin early, he has to lock this every turn. If he can't lock this, then it becomes a problem because it's out there. If he can't lock it and he plays a blocker, well, then you just go unblockable. And then obviously when he's tapped out, you're like, oh, okay, we're sweet. We're Gucci. Pan, I think we were digging for something. Can't even remember what I was digging for. Swing the 30. And again, so I could have gone this 5 cost again, but of course we've got 2 whirlwinds in hand, 5 energy. Maybe I was digging for a Dragon Thunder. But yeah, from there we get up to 140. Alright, so another Glorio game, and this is the one where I make a catastrophic mistake, I guess you could say. Like, it was literally, I literally lost the game by comboing 1 card. So when we get to that point, I will slow it down to show you guys what I did. As you watch this game, my opponent probably wasn't the best of the opponents that I played against today. He made multiple mistakes with the leader ability. Because for those that don't know, for the leader ability, if you discard and then play something with a auto, or you activate, or you swing with your leader and activate the auto, it burns the next time you would use this, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, discard 2, and we see another pan, which is really good. I'd really like, I wasn't big on pan beforehand, but now that pan, I played pan at 4, I love pan. I didn't like the neg in hand. So like here you see he's discarded and he's swung. Wait, what? I think he just straight fucked up. I think he just chose and discarded the wrong thing. Okay. So we're down to that 6, and I think we're pretty close to the money. I literally did the, I don't need Zeno this time, and I charged 2 of my Zenos, and I've got the coin. So bottom deck. I think from here, yeah, that got us our Awaken. This time I was a bit smarter and actually swung. So in that sense, I kind of had to let the Shin live. I had no way to answer it. So combo out there, of course. Another Shin. And another 2. Pretty cooked. Pretty cooked when you go like 3-2, 3-2. Back-to-back turns. And then boom. Yeah, see, I don't know what the go was here. Like, did he misclick or something? But so he's discarded for no reason. So at this point, like when you're watching it, you think, oh well, Hazy, you must be crazy if you lost this game. And there went my final Zeno. So I'd obviously put myself in a spot, and I was really like surprised when I saw the super. Like, I don't know why he doesn't give me the Master Eater there, but three, 2, boom, 3-2 again. Like, obviously that's the problem with bouncing Shin. It is a brick in his hand, but if he can play it, it becomes really annoying. And at this point here, it's kind of like, well, Hazy, that Zeno would have been very helpful. But again, we're just chipping away. What do I do here? Swing here, trying to just bait. Nope, so he goes. 2. Only hit 2 there. I didn't need to burn it because, like, if he didn't keep that last one, I don't see why he would keep the Shin. And then I completely forgot. I was contemplating restanding it, and I completely forgot that red had, like, I just had this brain fart that red has neg. And I was just like, oh. Shit, well, now what am I going to do? So that was a mistake on its own part. I have to let it die there. And again, I was saying on stream, I should have charged, but I didn't want to. And this would have been very helpful. So yeah, at this point I'd forgotten, like, so I have to go for the board clear here. So bear in mind, at this point I now have 8 cards. I have 12 cards left in deck. But I have to play the Nova here to clear the other 2 bodies. I probably could have, like, yeah. It was just the only way to go about it. So again, 8 cards in deck. And I combo the Sin. I was just like, I don't want to go to 2 here. Mind you, I'm still probably not in any danger of dying. I have 2 supers. I have a whirlwind. He would have to take me to 1. So, like, what am I doing here? And that's when it dawned on me that I couldn't actually play this because I hadn't charged the turn before. I couldn't even put cards back in my, like, I had nothing to put my cards back in my deck. So I'd literally gotten myself into a very, very bad predicament there. And he like, yeah, he starved me from there, and it's like, well, what do I do? I have game there. And I just have to pass. Because if I play that, I mill out. So he plays the Vegeta. I had to hope that through all this, I either had to hope for a all-in. I knew that I could sort of play around, but here he started to get his hand back, depleting my hand. I really needed, like, Heart of the Cards. Didn't find it. I couldn't even play this to see if it was at the bottom of my deck. I just had to, yeah. I just had to go this route. Combo up. Hope he didn't have combo. He unfortunately did. And from there, I was dead. And then our final game is against another Glorio. So here, this time, I literally said in the chat, I'm not going to charge my Zeno, well, I'm not going to get rid of Zeno this time, because obviously I know how pivotal it was, and then I charged one. Literally, you don't want to be charging Shadow Dragons if you don't have to. They want to be in the drop, not your energy. So pass up there, swing. Do I just, yeah, just combo out here. When he played that, I was very surprised, but do I burn the coin here? Can't remember. Maybe I think I go double black smoke here. Yeah, it makes sense to go double black smoke. But, like, the more I play, the more I love these 3-drop Shadow Dragons. Like, I'm just inviting the pokes. The fact that he evolved then in there was actually a little bit scary. But it kind of aided the game plan. Because I think here I might have the... Yeah, I do have it in my drop. And it worked even better that I drew into a pan. Maybe I was trying to draw to see if I could find something else. Boom. From here, it's kind of like you put him in a situation. He has to have double self-awaken here to get awakened here. Which unfortunately he did. And now the 6-drop plays on. But of course, Hazy ain't missing a chance to get rid of the old 1-drops. Very inefficiently, but Pan gets out of that one. But we were set up to just take 40-40. Boom. Boom. So here I think I return the Shin to hand. Which can be good and bad. If only it was a 20k body, not a 25k body, it would be like better for swinging into it. But when you see them go to 2s, like go to 3 so easily, you can really kind of just like apply the pressure to them with the 5, with the 30, 35, and then double strike plus your leader swing. Yep, of course we're going to block there. So, I guess like inviting the Shin also is like... I actually did forget that he hadn't swung a second time with that. So of course I had to combo out of this one because if he has the extra card in hand, which he doesn't thankfully, if he has the extra card in hand here, that's plus 15, so I'm staring at a pretty beefy swing if I go to 1. But here, I just start like mathing out, like the 30k swings just become too much. 2. Another 30. And again, I think I just popped the extra card because like if he hits us, I'd put on the fact that he left 1 because he might have had the 1 for I think it's like 1 for 25 because you've got evolves. So that puts him at like what 45, and then a super puts him at 65. I haven't got a lot of combos, so if he were to have an extra super combo on top of that. So literally if I had a swung and he got a super combo there and he had the extra card, I might have not gotten through. But he only got to 50 in the end and we finished 6-1. So that's going to be the end of the video today, guys. Hope you did enjoy. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe and we'll catch you all on another one soon.